I'd say I was a bit cheeky as a child. We were always on the go and getting into trouble, but it was a lot of fun. If I told myself when I was younger that this would be my life now, I wouldn't have believed it. It first started around the age of 15 when I was in Year 9. And at that point, I was getting these weird senses of deja vu at school and around, just only a couple of times a month. And it would come and go. So I'd have a couple of episodes around a month and then I wouldn't have it for maybe 5 months. And I'd see them as being like deja vu.
So this was the room and the spot that I had the first seizure where I got diagnosed. My friend Kat was sitting here.
I was there for Ruby's first seizure. We were in our VidsCom room at lunchtime.
We were doing some artwork at lunchtime.
And she started looking down at her hands.
I remember looking at my hands while my aura was happening throughout my body.
And moving them like something was wrong with them. And I thought she was kidding and I just was yelling at her like, Ruby, like, stop, it's not funny.
And I couldn't hear her. All I was worried about was looking at my hands.
It just looked like she wasn't really there anymore. And then after about a minute, Ruby like kind of woke up out of the seizure and I looked at her and I was so confused.
She was looking at me in awe, like, what has just happened?
It just seemed like she was really tired. And there was a moment of realization. I was like, was that the deja vu that you talk about? And Ruby was like, yeah, I just had my deja vu. And then I was like, Ruby, that wasn't deja vu. Like I think you had a seizure.
The deja vu feeling for me is actually an aura, which is a warning sign that I'm going to have a seizure. So when I realize I'm having an aura, I usually sit down and tell someone who's around me that I can feel it coming on. Then when the seizure occurs, I look at my hands. I also lip smack and sometimes on occasion have rhythmic arm movements.
Yeah. Open. Shut. Open. Up. Down. Up.
When I first got diagnosed, I had only a seizure once a 6 months to a year. Nowadays, I have seizures maybe once a week to twice a week, depending if I've had a lot of stuff on. And I also usually have 3 to 4 small auras throughout the day. So it's a big change. When I first got diagnosed, I was on 1 medicine. However, now that I'm having more seizures a day, I now take 4.
I was hoping after I finished school when I was 18 to actually try out for AFLW, as that was coming into like Melbourne life. However, once I got diagnosed, I had to stop everything. And it was, I guess, a sad time. We were going into finals and our team had for once made finals, which was pretty rare for us. Not being able to play and just having to watch from the sidelines, I guess, was a bit devastating. But to counteract that, I got to help out with coaching and helping the young girls strive towards being a better footy player and have their confidence and everything.
Being in Melbourne as a 22-year-old with my epilepsy, it is vulnerable in a way if I'm going to have a seizure in a spot where I don't choose. When I'm out and having a seizure, it is sometimes bit stressful and scary. Some people in life would see me and class my epilepsy as a disability, but for me, I still make myself do everything I want. I make sure that it doesn't become who I am.
Funny dance. Go back, I can't see it.
So my epilepsy has taken a few things from my life. At the start, when I was diagnosed, I was able to drive for 2 years. This past year, I've had to give that up.
Sick of being in that passenger seat.
Yes and no.
Fair enough.
Feel like I can just sit and sleep and I don't know, just enjoy the ride compared to having the stress.
Since November last year, I've been put on a waiting list to have brain surgery, which will hopefully cure my epilepsy. It will give me a 70% chance of decreasing or getting rid of fully my epilepsy and my seizures, which will give me a great chance to live life a bit fuller.